Hello, everyone. My name is Chad Simon, and I'm the strategist for the Unified Communications and Collaboration team here at Ingram Micro. I've been in distribution sales for just over 6 years. Prior to that, I was in the industry for 19 years as a engineer slash architect type, installing, maintaining, upgrading, designing anything voice, video, or collaboration. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something near and dear to all of our hearts, which is making more money and growing our businesses. With that, I'd like to give a little bit of insight into the three segments of the UC industry poised for the biggest gains in 2021. But before we do that, I'd like to go over a little bit about what we've been going through for the past year or more with the pandemic. The pandemic, in my mind, really didn't change history or the future. What it's done is accelerate the future. In my mind, we are where we would be approximately 7 to 10 years from now without the pandemic. And I'm really proud to be part of an industry that really took the lead in making sure that all of us could continue work and continue our businesses and in most cases even grow our business. We were really the edge of the sword in this battle, and I'm very proud to have been part of that. With that, I'd like to give a few insights onto the three segments of the unified communications and collaborations industry that are poised for the biggest gains in 2021. I'm going to go over contact center as a service and workforce management. I'm going to go over mixed reality communications, i.e. AR and VR communications. And I'm going to go over unified communications as a service and communications platforms as a service. First, let's talk about contact center as a service and workforce management, aka UCaaS and WFM. These industries are poised to be a $29 billion industry by the year 2025, which is approximately a 24% growth rate during that forecast period, which is huge. Well, let's ask ourselves why it's so huge. I think the answer to that is twofold. First off is the barrier to entry is significantly less than in the past. And that's because whenever you move something to an as-a-service model, from on-prem, the barrier to entry is naturally going to go down. The second reason is really another question, which is how do managers manage nowadays in this work from home and work from anywhere environment? And the answer to that question is both UCaaS and WFM. These tools have been around for quite some time, but they've never quite been applied in a way of managing a remote workforce, but it turns out they're absolutely perfect for it, and ensuring that employee engagement stays high and that goals can be met from employees, and that we can ensure that people stay productive all the time. So keep an eye on UCaaS and WFM this next year. Next, let's talk about mixed reality communications, or augmented reality and virtual reality communications. This is one of the most exciting segments of the industry if you're a geek like me. These are the things that we dreamed of when we were kids, that communication could become. I think everyone remembers the Google Glasses back a few years ago. They worked fairly well, but I don't think the industry was ready in a couple of aspects. First, the bandwidth, and second, really the user experience, and the need for it really wasn't there. But as we move to remote work and work from anywhere, experts are needed everywhere, and there's not enough experts to go around. So very interesting use cases for augmented reality communications is we'll be using mixed reality glasses, and a technician will be out in the field and transmitting everything he sees back to a highly experienced engineer. And that engineer can actually draw and annotate on what that technician sees, tell him which bolt to tighten, which button to push, all those kind of things. Another use case for it would be you're walking around town and you see just the most awesome pair of shoes you've ever seen. Well, you can look at those and say, hey, where do I get those? Or hey, Amazon, order those for me, and boom, they're ordered. It does the image lookup, it does where to find them, shows you the price, and we'll be able to purchase them. So mixed reality is the wave of the future, and it's here sooner than we think. And remember, like I said, 80% increase this year alone. So I think it's something that if you have the bandwidth and if you have the time and the desire, this is something you should absolutely look into this year. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is UCaaS and CPaaS, otherwise known as Unified Communications as a Service and Communications Platforms as a Service, two big pillars of the communications industry. On the UCaaS side, due to the COVID pandemic, a gigantic market correction was just done, and that market correction says that by the year 2025, the UCaaS business is going to be $140 billion, 3x from where we are today. So let's let that sink in really quick. By the year 2025, $140 billion industry, a 3x increase from where we are today. And that's really for a few reasons. One is that UCaaS is really the center of the communications industry, and it's not going anywhere. Two, on-prem deployments have been declining since 2027 or 2017 steadily, and that's not going to change. And UCaaS has been taking up that slack. And those are really the reasons. And everyone knows the value of UCaaS and what it does, and everyone knows that it's not going anywhere. The really exciting part about this one, though, is CPaaS, Communications Platforms as a Service. And any application leader should really be leaning on CPaaS as a pillar for their digital transformation journeys, with functions such as SMS, application to person or A2P messaging, video, payments. Really need to be looking to CPaaS to scale at speed and to remain agile. Gartner right now is predicting that there's 33% growth in this industry today, and the reason why that's a prediction is because there's many factors that go into this, one of those being globalization. But again, Gartner is predicting 33% growth year over year in this industry today. So to recap, the three segments of the UCC industry poised for the biggest gains in 2021 are contact center as a service and workforce management, mixed reality communications, and unified communications as a service and communication platforms as a service. Be sure to keep an eye on them in 2021. Happy selling.